All right. Welcome. What's happening, Love Alchemist? This is Dr. Benjamin here with another edition of Love Ride Share, where every ride is a conversation, every conversation is a vibe, and we're all about trying to bring uh, people closer together in the spirit of love. And I'm sitting here with
Oh, Kara, nice to
Kara.
meet
How you
you.
doing, Kara?
I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
well. I'm well. I'm well. All right. So the Love Ride Share is kind of based on this philosophy about love that I created. It's called the Four Elements of Love, and it's all about nurturing and understanding ourselves and one another when it comes to these four elements, being spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physical, those parts of ourselves, right? And so all the questions I'm gonna ask you are kind of around, in that vein. So first question, spiritual. Let's start spiritually. How can how can your partner, the person that you're either with now or that you plan to be with in the future, how can your partner nurture you spiritually, and how do you plan to spiritually nurture your partner?
Well, it comes from for me, being in a lot of not a lot of relationships, but being in very deep relationships.
For sure.
We definitely focused on mostly for me, spirituality is key.
Right. For sure.
God is the totality of all that is, and
Right.
God is love.
For sure.
So if God is not in my relationship, I don't want it, one. And then two, also I use God as just the connector between me and my loved one at
Right.
the time.
Right.
Like right now I'm single, but that is something that I'm very big on,
Right.
for sure, in my relationships.
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. And so, in the ways in which, so you said that God is kind of central um, in your life and in your relationships. So moving from that, so once you kind of establish this spiritual understanding of yourself, and actually, let me ask you another question. How do you actually need to be spiritually nourished by your partner? Like, what do they need to do after you've centered God? What are the things that you do with your partner that kind of nourish each other spiritually?
Definitely pray for each other. We
Okay.
definitely like speaking into each other, always talking about who God is, and also
Continue on
having that
US
be like the
29 north for
forefront
half a mile.
of the way that we treat each other. We're used, like, I know for sure for my partner, I had my last partner, he passed away,
Oh, I'm sorry.
unfortunately, but he was very spiritual, so we would pray for each other a lot. He would always, when I would feel down and heavy, he would always remind me of how God would look at me. And he always would remind me of like the strength that, even if I feel like I didn't have it, God will always has that power within us.
For sure.
So for me, my partner should definitely be someone who knows God enough to the point where there are times where I'm maybe slipping mentally or emotionally, that my partner can definitely be able to fill the gaps in. Even if they don't know what to say for themselves, they know the Spirit of God.
Right.
And they're able to, I guess, carry that on them to fill in the blanks. And for me, I think hopefully I'm in the same way, like in the same way I can, even if I'm not sure as a person, I can maybe sympathize or empathize what my partner's going through with.
sure.
Like, I'm always praying for my partner. I'm always thinking about like how to be better, how we can be better humans, how we can be better in a relationship, out of relationships. So definitely, always, I guess for me, on the hand of, on the way that I should definitely treat my relationship spiritually is always keeping, just keeping the spirit of what God is, and always just leading with love.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That's beautiful.
Wholehearted, unconditional. I guess that I should say that.
Right,
I should
right.
start off with that, but very much unconditional love.
Got you. So what I'm hearing is like, speaking life into each other, nurturing one another, especially when we're having some sort of challenges in life. Those are things that you need. Okay.
Absolutely.
So what about shifting to like the mental things? And so by mental, what I mean is like things that you want to learn, or like things that stimulate you mentally, like in terms of your knowledge base, humor, all those types of things. I feel like are aspects of the mental element. So how do you nourish yourself, and what do you need your partner to nourish you mentally? How do you need your partner to nourish you mentally? how do you nourish your partner mentally, and how do you nourish yourself mentally?
Well, definitely. I kind of bridge everything together. I'm an Aquarius, so
Okay.
being mentally stimulated is like my highest.
Right.
It's like something I have to be in order for me to feel like I'm with someone that I truly like. Like I have to be mentally stimulated.
For sure.
And one thing that's very interesting about me in dating is I don't have to have this. I would rather have somebody that's totally different from me. I'd rather have somebody that has different interests than I do, or have something that's like I can actually learn from, because I'm a learner of life.
Right.
So I would love to have someone that can teach me about like some random thing. Like my ex, he was very he was into like karate and Jeet Kune Do. So I had no clue about none of that stuff, but being able to learn more about that and that aspect was really cool as well. So I'm very much a person who likes to learn from anyone and everyone.
For sure.
And for my mental, I guess that's a way to keep my mental up too. I'm always challenging myself to do something, like always just trying to challenge myself to do something that I don't think I can do. And a big issue for me has been my confidence. Like I can say, oh yeah, I can do this, but even if I do it, the way that my perfectionism is set up,
right, for sure,
it's never good.
never good
it's
enough.
Never good enough.
Right.
But I also enjoy the aspect of learning.
Right.
So that's something that I think mentally that I would really like.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And so what I heard you say is like, you like to be someone that has different interests, but I would assume, or at least correct me if I'm wrong, you want shared values but different interests. If that makes sense, right? So you want them to share the same value system in terms of like, you know, the things that you want to achieve, but maybe the route to them, or just different, like you said, just those interest elements, which I think that's a great thing.
Yes.
And a wonderful point to make.
Yeah, because I want to date a whole person, you know. I don't want to date like somebody. I want to date a real whole person.
Right. For sure. Yeah. Okay, so with that said, so let's move on to the emotional element. So in terms of emotion, and you kind of mentioned some of these things earlier, like, you know, when you're down, things of nature, what what are some emotional elements that you need? How can your partner nurture you? How do you nurture yourself, and how can your partner nurture you? And how do you nurture your partner in terms of the emotional elements of life?
I like that. Well, basically, again, like I'm very much a God's girl.
Right.
So for me, emotionally, I'm very up and down, and I hate it myself. Like I could be happy as like for one thing, and then the next minute I'm like, what is life? I'm so like melodramatic, so I had to like keep grounded.
Right.
And one thing I like to do is like couple things like with my spirituality with physical.
Right.
I'm also a singer, so like music is a big aspect for me too.
Yeah.
And so I just tend to like try to love myself as much as possible, especially growing up the type of woman that I am, like dark skin, tall, big, thick. You know, a lot of people didn't really kind of like are not really receptive to me or like receive me very well. So I had to learn very on that I have to be someone who is fully embodied in who she is,
for sure,
and who loves herself as is. And I think that's what I want for my partner. I'm a very soft person. I lead on kind of strong, and I have an edge to me. But for my partner, I would love someone that could be there to recognize my softer parts that needs to be protected, that needs to be nurtured, that needs to be like recognized and expressed. And I would love to give that space to my partner as well.
That's beautiful. So I heard a couple of things there. Number one, well, I want to make a comment, then I'll think about, then I'll reflect on some of the things you said. Number one, I think there's a huge trend now of more like you said, natural sisters. I mean, we always love thick brothers. Always love thick sisters. So I think you probably have always gotten, because I saw your figure when I walked out. I was like, yeah, she, there's nice figure there. So so
Thank you, I appreciate it.
brothers have always been in that space where we've always like that. I
Mhm.
think we're getting more into like the natural. I've always, me personally, and I know a lot of brothers too. A lot of brothers I know always love dark skinned sisters. You know
But
what I'm
damn, they
saying?
ain't tell me.
So right, yeah. So I mean, so
Where
I
was
just
I?
yeah. So I think that I think there's been. I honestly believe that the aesthetic is more pushed in the narrative of like the media as opposed to in actuality. I think there's more because I see a lot of sisters that are, like I said, thick and natural and chocolate that they get a lot of play. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so, but I can recognize that there is this narrative in the larger media space that is just total opposite because that's not the standard. As a matter of fact,
Mhm.
Jill Scott, her new song on her new album, she has a song called Pressure, and
Yes.
she talks about okay, so love
Yes.
her album. Jill Scott's one of my favorite artists, by the way.
Me too.
Yeah. So so much pressure. She said I wasn't the aesthetic, right? So she's talking about that, and I get that.
Mhm.
So but I just want to make that comment. The other part was kind of piggybacking on something you said in terms of like helping someone to like navigate the emotional roller coaster that is life.
Mhm.
That's just something that's can be difficult. Now it's funny. I was talking to another pastor that was on the podcast earlier,
Mhm.
and she was talking about how she don't want an emotional man and man being too emotional and da da da. And I was it was interesting because I think that on the opposite end, women get the space to be to kind of have the full range of emotions, but a lot of times men don't. And so I'm always curious as to how women are navigate a man's emotional trajectory, right, or emotional
Yeah.
ups and downs.
And I was
So
gonna say, if you want to continue this, I'm not a rush to get home or
okay,
anything.
cool, yeah. So we can stay a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna keep it moving.
Okay.
But yeah, so moving from the emotional part,
Mhm.
let's talk about the physical part. So
Mhm.
how do you nurture yourself physically, and how do you want your partner to nurture you physically, and how do you nurture your partner physically?
Okay.
And
Is this like
you
a
could be,
sexual thing?
yeah, I was gonna say you could be as detailed as you want to be. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm open to this is like in terms of like working out or like sexual or any way that you feel like is nurturing physically for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in an era where I'm embracing myself a little bit more into just doing things that I like to do. So physically, I'm into like the yoga Pilates space.
Wonderful.
But I also like to switch it up, especially during the summers. Like weather like this, I love to run.
Oh, for sure.
I
Yeah,
love to go outside,
yeah.
sit in nature,
Love it.
and and just go for walks and stuff. I'm a very nature person, so I love sunlight, rain, all of that stuff. So I got into like a mindset about my body, especially being very young, being like a big girl. I always was body shamed, but I'm now getting into a place where I'm loving my body as is. I'm not looking to be like an Instagram model or whatever. I just want to accept myself as is and do the things that my body naturally wants to do.
For sure.
And that's like one thing I have like started to accept, like loving myself physically and just saying, oh, I like my body.
Yeah,
It
for
may
sure.
not look like this, it may not be like this, but I love, I love that I'm a softer body type. I love that I'm tall. I love, and so I may not want to work out every day of the week, but I want to do things that I enjoy to get movement in my body.
For sure.
Physically, for my partner, I also want them to kind of keep themselves in a way. They don't have to necessarily be in shape or muscular bound or whatever, but I want them to enjoy their body as much as possible too, and be able to facilitate all assets of their body as well. And I'm a very loving girl, so again, I'm very mentally motivated rather than being like physically motivated. So as long as your mind is stimulating, you have some, you have other assets to you that are really nice. Body wise, I don't care. My past person, he was very he was sick, so he wasn't much into like, he was into fitness, but he was sick too. So he was losing a lot of muscle. He was he wasn't really happy about his body like he used to be. And I used to try to assure him like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're different looking, but you're not you don't look bad.
You're still attracted to him.
Yeah, I'm still attracted to you.
Right.
And it's more of just the personhood rather than it's the physical.
So it sounds like you're attracted to his spirit and his soul, and not necessarily just his body. That was just a temple for you.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So that's a beautiful story. So last question is, what do you think that we need to do in terms of humanity in general, and even in the Black community, in terms of Black men and Black women? What do we need to do to like end the gender wars and like really kind of unite? Like what do you think we need to do?
I feel like for one, we should start embracing our individuality.
Okay.
Also being able to realize people are people. Like
right.
humans are humans.
Right.
Everybody's shit. Like like decide what shit you're gonna take,
Right,
and like
right.
honor yourself,
I like that.
and then honor your person. Like stop looking for what should be. Like we're in a place and space now where the whole our society is changing. Like the 9 to 5 isn't working anymore.
Right.
We're getting into economic spaces where you're needing more than one income
source
to
of
just
income.
come in the house.
Absolutely.
So now it's a chance for us to challenge ourselves to look deeper for what we want in a person, rather than just being like, oh, I just want this person because they're gonna do this, da 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 da. We had this long list of what we want from people, but we're out here either struggling, trying to figure it out. And the one thing that we can do is literally just love who we love and love each other. Like
for sure.
And like literally look around and realize we're not in a great world. Stop looking for perfection and look for what's best for you.
For sure.
And look for a person that's good for you, that's best for you, and then make it what you want it to make it. Look for peace in your relationships. Don't look for perfection. Look for peace. Look for progress. Look for genuine unconditional love, and not looking for just some random, oh, I want a man with a bag, I want this. Like money can be made. If you have the mentality, you can make money. You know what I'm saying? Like
sure.
But at the end of the day, you can't do that. You can't look for love and then try to look for a robot too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something I'm a very loving person. I stay in love all the time. I'm in love with life. I'm in love with, just little things. So I think now we can take whatever's going on in our country, whatever is going on in society, like we can take that as an opportunity to be a little bit deeper, and also come up with a new way to find the things that we need for ourselves, and then be able to attract who we need for us.
Absolutely.
To that can complete or not complete or add to what we want.
Absolutely. Wonderful. This
Yeah.
has been a very amazing conversation. I appreciate your time.
Really?
Yeah,
I appreciate your time too. This was very fun.
Excellent. So this has been another love vibe session. I'm